Hello and welcome to QE Talks, the Quality English podcast. Quality English is a quality assurance and brand marketing association that brings together a selection of the very best independent English language schools and colleges from around the world. In this series, we go beyond the guidebooks to explore trusted English language destinations through the experiences and insights of quality English schools and education agents.
Hello everyone, welcome to the first ever episode of QE Talks. I'm Jonathan Swindell from Quality English and I'll be your host for today's conversation. Ireland continues to be one of the world's most popular destinations for learning English, combining high quality education with culture, lifestyle and unforgettable experiences outside the classroom. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Marc Cullen, Managing Director of Cork English College, and Aidan O'Shea, Director of Operations at the Linguaviva Centre. Marc, would you like to introduce yourself and your school?
Sure. Thank you, Jonathan. Well, as Jonathan mentioned, my name is Marc Cullen. I'm the Managing Director of Cork English College, one of Ireland's longest established English language schools. In fact, it was my mother who started the school back in 1978. So we're celebrating, I think it's 48 years this year, getting ready for a nice big party in a couple of years' time. Looking forward to that. Our school offers programs designed for both adults and for juniors throughout the year. And our philosophy has always been learning happens both inside and outside the classroom. So traveling to Cork and studying with Cork English College, it's not purely learning the language as I in the school. It's the experience of being here in Ireland. And that's what we try to do.
Great. Thank you. And Aidan?
Yeah, thanks, Jonathan. My name is Aidan O'Shea. I'm the Director of Operations for the Linguaviva Centre. We're a small boutique school in the centre of Dublin. Similar age to Cork English College. We're coming up on our 50th anniversary next year. I've been in the EFL industry for about 20 years now as a teacher trainer, examiner, consultant, and then eventually in 2020 took over the Linguaviva Centre. So we describe ourselves as a small boutique school, and we offer classes to adults and juniors. And we also do quite a lot in the area of teacher training and in Erasmus Plus and professional English. And then this year, we've also seen a lot in the area of mini-stay groups from around Europe and even beyond. We pride ourselves in having a really strong customer service, really strong teacher delivery, and also on the quality both inside and outside the classrooms in regards to the customer care, student care that we deliver. And we're just proud to keep the legacy of the school going, which started in 1977, and hopefully there's another 50 years to come.
Brilliant. So we've got almost 100 years of history and experience here. Let's focus now on Ireland itself. Aidan, what do you personally love most about Ireland?
I personally love most about Ireland, I suppose, like everybody in this industry, I travel quite a lot and I've been very fortunate to see, all the continents of the world and many of the countries within them. And it strikes you when you come home, I think the strength of sense of fun, sense of adventure amongst Irish people. We don't take ourselves too seriously. And I think that leads to us being extremely friendly and welcoming. And also the vibrancy in Ireland now. It's a country that's changed a lot in even the last 10, 20 years. And across the country, there's, a lot happening in the arts and culture, and the impact that we make on the world stage is tremendous for the size. So I think that'd be it: friendliness, vibrancy, and a sense of joy of life.
Great. And Marc, what do you love the most about your country?
Well, Aidan's covered a lot of it, but I suppose it is a difficult question because there's so many things. If I had to choose one thing, I think I'd probably say the people. People they have a natural warmth about themselves and a great openness that visitors, they notice almost immediately when they get off the plane. We hear here from our students, there's a genuine interest in people. They want to know where you're from, what you're doing, but in a curious way in order to open a conversation. And it's not unusual for visitors to find themselves chatting with somebody in a coffee shop or on a bus, in a bar. It's very typical for language students. Like that openness is incredibly valuable because it gives them incredible opportunities to practice their English in authentic situations that sometimes in other countries they may not feel at ease. There's also, I think there's a great sense of community. If anybody needs something, or a student needs something or something specific, or if an agent contacts us and says, look, I have this crazy request, we say, yeah, well, ask us. If we don't have an answer, there's about to be somebody in my phone who does have the answer. And that's typical. And also that's between Dublin and Cork and Galway. And we would contact each other and help if somebody had a question. The natural beauty, I mean, just around Cork, I have to say the dramatic coastline we have down here, the Atlantic, the Wild Atlantic Way, it's just absolutely incredible. But I'd say what I most appreciate here is the balance that it offers. We're a modern, innovative country with great international connections, but we've also managed to retain very rich cultural heritage, strong traditions, and a pace of life maybe a little bit slower down here on the south than in the capital, but it encourages people to enjoy the journey of while they're here in Ireland, rather than just trying to rush through it.
Yeah, brilliant. Aidan, in 3 words, how would you describe Ireland in 3 words for international students?
Welcoming, challenging, but in a good way, challenge them to develop themselves and to step outside their comfort zone, yeah, as I said earlier, vibrant. So much happening in whatever walk of life you're in, whatever interest you have. So they'd be the 3.
Great. Marc, 3 words?
Well, Aidan's taken one of my words there now.
we should have checked notes.
I would say authentic, because it really gives a genuine cultural experience, and the Irish are very proud to be Irish. And I find that anybody who comes over here, they're introduced to, whether it's hurling or GAA or Irish sports or typical legends and stories. Whether you ask or you don't ask, you are going to be told a couple of stories. And they're amazing stories. Unforgettable, because the experience that students will have over here will be an unforgettable experience. Many of our former students come back years after years. In fact, only yesterday we had a couple who arrived back in. They studied with us in 2019, and they arrived in with their son Daniel just to say hello from Costa Rica. So not even from Europe, from Costa Rica, popped in to say hello. And I mean, that's great, because the experience that they had here in Ireland was so unforgettable. We're on their map to go and travel around. That's what the last word I would say, I think, and it's an important word in this day and age, is safe. Ireland is a very safe country. And I think that's something that a lot of students are looking at in this day and age. We have a crazy geopolitical situation around the world at the moment, but Ireland still has that safe aspect to it.
Yeah. Fantastic. When students first arrive, Aidan, what do you think tends to surprise them the most?
I mean, the obvious answer is the weather. And this week, it's actually surprised them for the positive, because we give them the pre-arrival information saying, pack this. And we didn't tell them it was going to be 24 degrees this week. So I think they've got their heavy jackets, and they need to be popping into Pennies to get their shorts and t-shirts. So but I'm here, whatever, 40 odd years, and I'm surprised by that. But I think also, and we've touched on it already, the openness and friendliness, and even up in Dublin, which is the capital city, it's still in a way a bigger version of a village. Everybody knows somebody who knows somebody, and students realize they can plug into that. If you need help opening a bank account, or I know such and such who might be able to help you with a job, or there's an apartment going here. Oh, I think I know the person. We're really only 1 or 2 degrees of contact away from knowing people. And I think that really surprises students when they come here. And once they realize they can plug into it and trust that network, it opens up a world for them,
So the community feel, really. Marc, same question for you. What surprises them when they first get here?
I'd say, I'd just add to what Aidan said again. Excuse me. I mean, a lot of students arrive to Ireland feeling a bit nervous about their level of English. They're not sure how good or how bad they are. But and they worry about making mistakes and not understanding everything. But what they do quickly discover is that Irish people are just really generally very patient and encouraging, and we're there to help them. People appreciate the effort that students are making, and they're often they're happy to help. Simply to have a conversation. I mean, people love to draw up a conversation, as I said before. So the other thing that students are amazed by is, the scenery is as it is on a postcard. It is as green, and everything is very green, especially this summer anyway, or this springtime after I think we've had the wettest winter ever. The weather is, I mean, as Aidan says, you have to have a raincoat in your bag. You'll have 4 seasons in one day. These things happen. But it'll go back to what I said at the start. What they find so amazing is just how friendly people are.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that. So, of course, studying abroad is much more than just about what happens in the classroom. Aidan, what activities do your international students really enjoy outside of the class?
Again, we have quite a range of students, and we tend to tailor our activity program to the students that we have. 14, 15, 16-year-olds aren't going to like the same activities that their teachers might do in their 40s and 50s. So the great thing about Dublin is that it's very walkable, and we say that to our students immediately. You can get all of the big hitters in from a tourist point of view. So I think for our long-term students who are here for maybe 3, 4, 5 months, we do quite a lot of activities to introduce them to the local community. So whether that's plugging in with we would do book clubs, we would do quizzes in pubs to get them to know the local area. For the shorter-term students, I think Marc mentioned it already. They adore learning GAA, the younger students, because it's such a unique sport. It doesn't exist anywhere else in the world, and it's something we're so proud of. The heritage, the history linked to it, and just the sheer physical attributes it takes to do it. So students always enjoy that. And then for the older students, again, maybe students on our Erasmus programs or professional students, the music scene here, again, it's unlike any other country from the point of view of the link between the people and the music and the history. So we bring them quite a lot of that. And again, the final one that I think is kind of the various layers of history that Ireland has. You can go from very recent history, going back 100 years, all the way back to sites that go back, 500 years, 1,000 years. So because Ireland is kind of a little bit unique from where it was as a geopolitical entity over the years, we've got a history that kind of doesn't really line up with the same as others would do. So I think it's a country that people think they know a lot about, and then when they arrive, they realize, there was so much more to learn about it. So that's the good thing about Ireland. Depending on your age or the length of time you're here, there's a totally different range of activities that you can do.
Thanks. And Marc, do you think the range of activities is different in the Cork area? Is it more diverse? What about the sports side of things?
Cork, obviously, being it's a smaller city, so it's the second largest city in the country. We don't have a metro system, we don't have a Lewis system, and similar to Dublin, everything here is really walkable. The activities a lot of the students who get involved in here would be sports and outdoor activities, whether it's horse riding, whether there's golfing. You have golf courses all over the place. Within half an hour, you can get to a golf course. Water sports is also a very big part of what people can do on the South Coast, because you do have the Atlantic Coast. You've amazing surfing schools, outdoor activity centres. We also find that a lot of the students, when they're here in Cork, they use Cork as a base to go discovering the east or the west of the country. So it's perfectly located. So you can head off and visit the Wild Atlantic Way, go down to Killarney. You've got the lakes of Killarney. You've got the mountainous region of Ireland. You can go up to Cliffs of Moher. Or you can go east over towards Wexford or Waterford or into the Midlands. So Ireland itself it's only about 400 kilometers, 450 kilometers from top to bottom. So you can actually discover the country, and there is a good system there. There's a good bus and rail network. So apart from everything that they can do here, they can travel, especially on the weekend. So there's so much they can do. Or if they want to, for a long-term student who's over, they might decide to hop on a flight to Paris for a weekend. It's only an hour from Cork Airport. So, there's a lot of things that they can do while they're here.
And from your perspective, are there any hidden gems? Is there anything that people don't maybe know about straight away that is your favorite place to go in the region?
in the region.
Yeah.
It's a difficult. There's so many different places. I mean, West Cork is unbelievably beautiful. I mean, if you do have the time to visit and discover West Cork, there's a place called Gugon Barra, and it's a place that you need to go to. You'll have seen it in postcards and pictures all over the place. You've got Kinsale, you've got, which has so much history going back to Battle of 1601 and the Spanish Armada. There's every little inlet, every little fishing village has its own little story. Ballycotton is another spot down on East Cork, in fact, and there's a cliff walk, which is just absolutely spectacular as well. But hidden gems, you'll find your own hidden gem. It depends. There's bits and pieces all over. You'll turn a corner, you'll walk into what looks like a small little pub, and it'll turn out to be an enormous beer garden at the back with pizza ovens and live music. It's incredible.
Yeah. Aidan, for you, any hidden gems?
Well, I'm as we could say in Ireland, I'm still a blow-in to Dublin because I'm originally from Cork. So I kind of see the city in a slightly different way to maybe people who grew up here. What I quite like is maybe the smaller, lesser known versions of the big hitters. So, everybody goes to Phoenix Park or Stephen's Green, but there's amazing gardens in Dublin. Only this morning I went for a walk into the Ivy Gardens. They have a lovely coffee truck in there. Or you've got the Blessington Basin on the north side, which again is a lovely little garden with squares. Or, everybody goes to Trinity College and it's beautiful. But you also have Marsh's Library here, which is huge history. Or even, I know a lot of our students have been going up to the Hellfire Club, which goes back about 300 years. And I think it's gained a lot of fans since Stranger Things. And there was a Hellfire Club of that as well. So again, you've got all of these. I think, TikTok and Instagram has been great for bringing out the lesser known spots or churches or bars or places that maybe wouldn't have had prominence before, and they're really getting showcased now. And students come over here telling me about hidden gems that I hadn't heard about, which is just goes to show the power and the how prepared students are before they come. So I like discovering those little bits when I'm strolling around the city.
Brilliant. Yeah, I think like Mark says, you discover your own hidden gems, don't you? So let's finish with a quick fire round. I'm going to take it in turns to ask you a question, just a very short answer. Mark, favorite Irish city?
Cork.
Thought you might say that. Aidan, one Irish food everyone should try.
If you have a slightly bigger budget, I'd say something like black pudding and scallops. If you have a cheaper budget, definitely soda bread and tato.
Okay. Mark, best photo spot in Ireland?
Cliffs of Moher, or closer to home, you'd have the old head of Kinsale.
Okay. Aidan, best activity for teenagers?
I'd still say learning GAA and visiting a GAA club to hear the history and learn the sport. Yeah.
Okay, Mark, best destination or activity for mature learners?
Kinsale for probably some of the best food you'll ever get, and definitely the best seafood in Ireland.
Sounds lovely. Aidan, pub or countryside?
For me, the choice or the best?
The best.
In Dublin, I still think Gravediggers is the best pub in Dublin for, again, history. It's next to a graveyard, and the Guinness is probably the best in Dublin. And countryside, I've started to fall in love as we started to run camps down there a lot with down towards the border with Wicklow, down towards Dalkey, Killiney. There's some stunning scenery down there.
Okay. Mark, strange question. Summer or winter? What's the best season?
Is there a difference in Ireland? Summer, personally, but that's just because I love it's so vibrant and we have all of the camps running, a load of energy. We've students coming in from all over the world, and you can go everywhere. There is less rain in summer than winter, normally, but for me, I actually love September, October.
Yeah. When it's cooled off a bit.
Yeah, the weather's still nice. It's good. At the moment, what we consider our summer. So as Aidan mentioned, so in Cork today, it'll probably hit about 28 to 30 degrees. All of the beaches, all of the buses to all of the beaches are full of school kids who finished their exams. but on the radio and the person on the street, they're all saying summer will be finished by Saturday.
Yeah.
So yeah, the entire city. I don't know about Dublin, Aidan, but Cork certainly smells of barbecue since Sunday. Everybody's barbecuing left, right, and centre.
Everybody's barbecued and everybody's going to be red by the end of the week. You know, we're as soon as there's a good day here, people have, we take advantage of it and we're out because we know it mightn't last. So yeah, it's great. But the whole atmosphere of the city is everybody's out and about. Yeah, wonderful.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, guys. We hope that today's conversation has given agents and future students a deeper understanding of what makes Ireland such a unique and memorable destination for learning English. To learn more about trusted independent English language schools in Ireland and around the world, visit our website, qualityenglish.com, and explore our destination guides. Thank you for listening, everyone, and we'll see you next time on QE Talks.